Well, I was born in a small village about 1 hour west from here, on the shadow of a Batu Karu mountain. There was no car, no electricity, and one transistor radio. I'm not 100 years old, you know that. I'm still young. You know, every day I would sit around in the morning when my mom cooked. Just love, because I knew she gonna need something from me. Sure enough. Hey, Made, can you bring this salt and then get some eggs from the neighbor? This is the moment that I'm waiting for. I run out the door and come back with the eggs. This is the barter system that we do in Bali. I just love that feeling. You barter for something, and everybody in a whole village know what we have. At 12 years old, my dad called me in. Wow, this is a little bit serious, I thought, And then I sat next to him, and he said, Made, if you want to be somebody, you need to get out from this village and then come back again when the wind blows this direction. I was confused. Life in a village was so damn good. Why do you want me to go out? Well, I follow his direction literally. In 1996, I find myself all the way half around the world in San Francisco. The city that I only see when I was watching the Hollywood movie. I was in awe. Oh my God, It cannot be much more different than where I grew up from. Yeah, it was so contrast. Just give an example. My friend told me, if you got in an accident, do not admit your fall because you will liable for it. What? In Bali, if you fall in somebody else's house, you would find the hose, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, that was my fault, I didn't see the hole. It was so much different, but hey, I need to learn, And the other thing, that I need to call my friend to see them. And I need to come on time. It's a new concept. In Bali, you just showed up in somebody else's house and they have all the time for you. And even they give you coffee, Well, life is not black and white just like that, Like in Bali, we call it Rua Bineda, which is the duality. And I got lucky when I was in the United States. I worked for Outward Bound. I worked for a lot of different things. I just learned anything. I even a skier. Can you believe? A Balinese skier. In United States, I was a telemarketing. Ba, ba, ba. People said, that's people from Bali. But I'm not a dancer, sorry. Anyway, so I got lucky to meet two my mentors in the United States. The first one is Yvonne Chinard, the company that I worked for 9 years. What I learned from him, hold your vision and your mission. Up to this date, the most profitable company in the United States, still owned privately. The second mentor that I met, Richard Strossi Heckler, and I have the privilege to be Uchi Desi, meaning that I live with him like an intern. So he teach me Aikido and Somatic. From Aikido, I really learned how to take care of others with dignity. From Aikido, I learned how to fall, get up, move on. Roll, get up, move on. From Somatic, I learned how to really know myself. Yeah? From Somatic, I learned really just knowing myself that I didn't know before. Yeah? And from both of those, Richard always says, if you want to change yourself, change your practice. This is what he said. To remember move 100 times. To get it in your muscle memory 1,000 times. To embody it, 10,000 times. Yeah? So think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. After a few years in the United States, I feel myself not lonely, but just feel kind of loneliness. You know, I grew up with such a different way of life. And for the first time that I see Bali from a different perspective. The community, the dance, the ceremony that I take it for granted when I was in Bali, that I miss them so much. And I told myself, one day when I'm come back to Bali, when that wind blow me back to Bali, I will take care of you, Bali. Of course, 2009, at the beginning of 2010, I find myself back in Bali. My experience in the United States proven to be valuable. I end up with a job here as a guest liaison, as a somatic coach, and teach Aikido in one of the healing centers here in Bali. In that 4 years that I worked over there, I met one of the most talented plant-based chef in Bali, or probably in Indonesia, Chef Maderunata. One day he asked me, "Hey Janur, do you want to open a restaurant with me?" And I said, "Restaurant? I never run a restaurant before, you know." And I Google it, it's 80% failure, you know. Do I want to put myself in that? But I remember when I was working at Outward Bound, one of my mentors said, when you do something, think about this 4 things: learning, earning, sharing, and fun. I never done this before. Well, I guess I can learn it. So I said, sure, why not? So, and then Moksha plant-based permaculture garden was born. Know nothing about restaurant, know nothing about permaculture. But what I learned from permaculture, inside of the problem, there is a solution. That's one of the principles from permaculture that I really took to heart. Moksha was thriving until the COVID-19 hit. I sit in my home. My wife Hillary was in United States at the time. Hi, hon. Love you a long time. So she was stuck in United States with my kids. I find myself sipping a glass of wine. What should I do? I want to help my family in my village. And then I remember, inside of the crisis, there is an opportunity. What is the crisis that we're facing right now? Number 1 is COVID. Because of COVID, in Bali, we need rice. If we have rice, salt and pepper, we live forever. Yeah, that's Bali. The second one, plastic, plastic, plastic. That's the environment. The third one is like this. When there is disaster, people bring what we call disaster relief. One hand on the bottom and one hand on the top. I really want to bring this hand together. In Bali, we'll call it Tatwa Masi. You as me as you. The giver become a receiver, the receiver become a giver. So we all in an equal field. What I call it dignity. So I thought to myself, I'm just going to go to the village. I called the village leader and the youth leader, and I talk. And I presenting my idea of exchanging plastic for rice, and then they love it. And they said, when should we start? I said, tomorrow. What? Hey, we're not waiting for the auspicious day to pick up plastic. Tomorrow is a good day, I said. We don't need to wait for the full moon or the new moon. Tomorrow, if there is plastic tomorrow, there is rice tomorrow, I said. Janur is crazy. He's been Americanized, I said, But hey, good to be crazy. So the next day, they pick up the plastic. In 2 days, in my village, only 60 households, which is 240 people, we collected 500 kilo plastic, a half of ton. I was so happy. Oh, my program is great. I got all of this. And then, oh no. If in my village, this small village that I pick up this much plastic, what about the bigger village? What about around Bali? If this thing work in my village, God will work in a different village. And I start doing this, the system, how I'm going to bring it out and all of that. And with the help of volunteers, dedicated volunteers with me, and my wife support really just relentless. Now the plastic exchange spreading like wildfires. 200 villages, 130 tons of plastic been collected. $35 tons of rice has been distributed, and about 4,500 households has been helped. So really, the core of plastic exchange is 3: dignity, prosperity, environments. The mission is to empower Balinese people to prosper through barter system by collecting non-organic stuff, and we give them rice as sustenance for now. I remember Richard said, to get it in your muscle memory 1,000 times, to make it embodied 10,000 times. I want my people here in Bali, stop doing this, but this now. 1, 2, sooner or later it's going to be 10,000 times, and it's become embodied. That's my hope. We can do this. You all here has been donating to Plastic Exchange, supporting me now here. We can do this for our self-worth, for our dignity, prosperity, and the environment. In Bali, we believe in reincarnation. We're born again because we have work to do. Jagat hitam, moksartam jagat hitam ye che iti dharma. It means there is a liberation in this world when you do your work, when you do your dharma. And you want to be one with the creation, and then you're not born again. Because this place is, we call it Mayapada, the place of illusion. We do our work to reach moksha. My dad is my hero. He pushed me out of my comfort zone. Get out and come back, he said. Dad, I'll stay here in the world to do my work until I see you in heaven. Thank you.